And with that, we welcome you to our inaugural episode of the UoR Voice podcast. UoR Voice is the University of Reading and Reading Students' Union official student podcast led by students for students. This will be the place to come for information about everything University of Reading and university life. You can expect to hear about topics such as study, wellbeing, student finance, and more from the students of Reading themselves, two of which I've got in the studio with me today. Guys, if you want to introduce yourselves, and then I'll come back to myself and tell everyone what we're doing in today's episode.
Hi, I'm Siba. I'm a second-year consumer behavior and marketing student.
Hi, my name's Rumi. I'm actually a master's student and I'm studying applied meteorology and climate.
Two very different subjects, very interesting subjects. My name's Jack. I do politics and international relations. I'm third year, which means I'm off next year into the big wide world. But hopefully we've got enough experience to talk about student life in Reading. And before we get into the subjects of today, we have to give a special shout out to the Band Society. You might have noticed a little jingle at the start of the podcast. That is done by them. So thank you very much, guys. But let's tell you what we're going to get into today. We're going to be talking student life. We're going to be talking making friends and socialising, as well as why we all chose Reading, which was a choice we made many years ago, but we'll be getting into why we've done that. Should we start off with making friends? That's our first section. How did you guys make your friends at uni? Who are your friends? How did you make them? What went on?
So I lived my first year in Windsor, and it was close to Parkhead. So I made a lot of my friends from Parkhead. And I say Parkhead should change its name from Park Greet. 90% of my friends were made in Parkhead, and 10% from my flatmates. And that's how it started for me. And still now, I'm still in contact with them.
So did you have catering in first year of uni in Park Barr?
So Windsor comes with the catering.
It comes with it anyway. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So it comes with a platinum meal plan. So that's
nice. Okay.
That's 3 meals per day.
Nice.
So I used to go for lunch and dinner. I used to meet new people. And yeah, that's how it started. And every time I did that for like 2 months, 3 months, and I had a massive group towards the end of the year.
Tell you what I could support. Get the pizza back at Park Eats. It's not there anymore. But that first year, I don't know. I think I would have starved with my cooking skills. I would have starved without those pizzas because they were exceptional. But again, like I say, not there anymore. The buffet was good though.
Not gonna lie, I've heard so much about that because when I came, it was the buffet system, and
it's not buffet anymore.
Nah, it's still the buffet, but then they've just reduced the options.
Ah, there we go. All change at Park Eats, but so that's where you made the most of your the majority of your friends, and then
majority of my friends from Park Eat. Flatmates, of course, and societies.
What societies did you join?
I was part of Cricket Society for a while.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I was part of the Daisy Society and the Badminton Society for a while. But then I stopped because, I wanted to have some time to myself.
Yeah.
Rather than, going for these matches and everything. It used to take a lot of my time, so.
But you made some good friends through that.
I did. I definitely did. I'm still in contact with them, as I said.
Well, there we go. If you wanna move on to yours, I'll go last. I'll come back to myself if you wanna go next.
Okay. So as I said, I study meteorology, and we are so lucky to have our own library actually in our building. And so that's actually how I met most of my friends. So that everyone would just gather there after lectures, after seminars, and just study them, and we would just talk together. And I think just because of our course size as well, everyone just gets to know one another. And yeah, it's quite a wholesome bunch. Everyone really in the building kind of is acquainted with each other, if not friends with one another. Even the PhD students were all kind of friendly. And that's kind of how I made my friends.
So were you always did you come to Reading for meteorology? Because it's quite a big thing here, isn't it? So.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually top 5 in the world for atmospheric sciences. So it's definitely the place to be if you want to study meteorology. And we've got a fantastic department, and literally everybody is nice. I've not met one person in the department that's unfriendly or wouldn't be up for casual chit chat on a Tuesday afternoon. So yeah.
I feel like I had quite a different one from both of you. So you were more course.
Yeah.
You were more sort of socialising, society, things like that. I met... So one of my flatmates I still am very close with now when I first met in first year, but we had a whole floor in my combi. There were, I want to say, are there 8 in a flat? There must have been 8 in a flat. There was 16 of us. And I was very lucky that we were all really close. We all went out together. We all did food, we all went for food together. We were just with each other all the time. So I was quite lucky in that respect. I also joined the Welsh Society, which I'm now president of.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
President.
I know, feels it feels like a pretty big title. And I used to do Radio Society in this very studio before I came to do this. So I kind of branched out into societies, but not so much on my course. That took longer. But one thing it did teach me, because I've now got a few close friends on my course, was that friends can sometimes take time on different things. Like when I was in first year, I felt so much pressure to really have like friends on my course that like I saw every day and like did all of this. And I didn't in first year, but now I do. And that can kind of, if it takes time, like I've got to do what works for you in terms of making friends, I suppose.
100%,
Yeah.
It's just like uni itself is such a big, you're out of your comfort zone. So be comfortable in the way you want to make your friends, I suppose. It would be, if I could tell first year Jack anything, then that's what I would probably tell myself. Would you guys have any advice for the way you made friends, or just keep it natural and see what happens type thing?
I think I concur. Like, I think it's so, like, there's so much pressure to make friends, specifically in first year, because it's like, we need to find housemates for year 2, and
that's such a big part of it.
That is such a big part of it, because everyone's just trying to get close to one another just because they want housemates. But guys, don't rush into it. You can find a house even in June, July time. Like, do not rush into this. It's such a huge thing to pick who you're living with, and like, it needs to come naturally. It needs to be people you actually like. So definitely do not rush for that purpose. And yeah, just be friends with people who you actually like. I think that kind of goes without saying, but I think for a lot of first years, there's kind of like almost this pressure to just make friends with anybody and everybody.
I was going to say, it does sound like a ridiculous thing to say, to just be friends with who you like obviously, because like the whole way through school, that's all you've done. But yeah, like you say, the way you make friends, it depends on your happiness as well as theirs. So
Definitely.
don't just make friends with.
Don't just do it just to be popular, or just be friends with people who you actually like.
I made the mistake of doing things which I wouldn't have done otherwise to make friends.
That happens.
And I, to some extent, I did know many people, and whenever I used to go out to, let's say, Lola's, people used to know me. That's because I used to do things which I'm not very comfortable. Yeah. And I definitely regret that, because I feel like I lost my identity on the way. So second year was just coming back to myself, just reflecting on it, just analyzing what I'm trying to do, think, act. So it really
I think everyone has a similar story for first year.
Yeah. And there's a perception, I think, of it as well, as in like, you see, maybe not in films so much in the UK, but like there's a perceived, like you look things up before you come to uni, and there's a perceived way to be at uni and whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be immediately different from the way you are at home. Like my home friends come up now, and I'm from like very, very, very South Wales in Swansea, a completely different place to Red, and they come up now and they're like, you're not like this at home sometimes. Like that's also fine as well. Like there's a kind of homesickness, and I'm edging onto the next point that we're going to talk about, the homesickness aspect. Was there like a settling in process for you, or were you able to maintain that sort of self? Because I think that can sometimes be difficult as well, is that sometimes there's a little bit of finding yourself at uni, which means you might have to change from home, but there's homesickness that comes with it. Did you guys?
Yeah, that's just inevitable, isn't it? I think I'll let you go first, just because I'm a master's student, and I think my story is a little bit different. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was very excited to come here. Reason being, it's a new place. I lived my whole life in the Middle East, so it's very different from the UK culturally, weather-wise. Just everything.
You got the weather bit right, that's for sure.
It's sunny out today, so
it is. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I like that. So I was really looking forward to it. I was very fortunate that I met some amazing people at the start of the year. Very generous, very kind. Just helping me just settle down uni. So I never really felt homesick. I obviously used to call, my parents, my girlfriend, any time of the day, because they're always there for me. And I'm not gonna lie, technology has made that homesickness reduce. So it really never bothered me. I was really engaged after I came to uni. I used to wake up, go for a morning run, lectures, lunch, go for.
I think finding a routine really helps.
Yeah,
that's nice. I made myself a routine. Yeah. I knew what I'm going to do, and because of that routine, I started making new friends. So my time was pretty much I had a very good time, and because back home the time difference is there. So by the time it's night
about
here,
4 hours, isn't it?
It's 4 hours, yeah. So by the time it's 8 here, it's already midnight there. So I felt like, the days just continuously pass. And I used to travel back home almost every holiday. So, this was more like coming for holidays than staying away from home. That's what my perspective was. And that's why I felt really nice coming here.
I think like what you said about making a routine, I just kind of want to continue on from that. I think making Reading your home and treating this as not like some like, I don't know, like it's not home, but it's something else. It's some secret third thing. You just have to pretend it is your home. Like, yes, you are renting. Yes, this is like student accommodation. But you just need to treat it as if you're going to stay here and you just need to make yourself happy in the present. And I think that kind of really helps with homesick as well. I think if homesickness, sorry. I think if you're always comparing your life now to what it used to be, or like thinking about people from back home, and comparing the people from back home to in Reading, you're always going to have that element of homesickness. But you just kind of need to tell yourself that this is a fresh start. Things are going to be different, but that's also okay.
Yeah, you can let go without completely you can let loose without letting go in a way, I suppose. Then.
Yeah.
Like you have to have some sort of give, but just because you've moved somewhere else doesn't mean you've lost your entire life wherever you've started from or wherever you've been from. This is just a new start in your life, and sort of off you go. Okay, so we can jump back in then, and we're going to talk about how we made those friends after we've moved in. We've all settled in, we were all ready to go. How do we make those friends? And before we start this conversation, I'll preface this by saying we're going to talk just as much about nights in than we're going to talk about nights out, because uni is not all about nights out, despite what some people will sort of perpetuate uni as. It's not. So guys, what was your first recollection of sort of maybe a social, but not necessarily going out social, if that's not what you did?
My first year started with night outs.
That's also fine.
That's a lot of people's first year.
Were you a freshers wristband man?
Not gonna lie. Again, coming back, I lived in the Middle East my whole life. So coming to the UK, that was an opportunity for me to just seize the wild.
There we go.
And
that's made the most of it.
Make the most of the opportunity.
Are you a Lola's fan or an Era's fan? Or a union fan, a Wednesday union fan? Of course, we've got to promote the students' union.
I'm not going to lie. Union right now is probably the best, better than anything in the town centre. I would rank union over Lola's.
What would you say?
Jokes aside, I know we're on the Students' Union podcast. I genuinely would say that Wednesday union is exceptional. Like, compared to town, everyone you know's there. Everyone you know who knows someone else who knows it. Like, you can just talk. You find yourself talking to anyone and everyone at a union, and I've always loved them.
It's like the network effect,
Yeah.
You just know one person from union, then you know more people.
They'll know,
and then you go prees with them, and then you know more people. That's how it started for me.
I really hope he's listening. Sorry, I once met a guy in the smoking area of union. I'm not smoking myself. I was just passing through because I know my mum will be listening to this. And I met a man who I thought was the spitting image of Louis Theroux, and I wouldn't let that go.
I saw him in Heathrow Terminal 5.
The real guy?
The real guy.
Did you get a picture?
My money don't jiggle.
Do you know that's incredible how much work he's done for that to be one of the most famous things he's ever done? But did you have a picture of that?
I didn't, because he was in the line for security, and then I was like, I'm not sure if it is actually him.
That's always the nagging doubt, isn't it?
It could just be the spitting image of him. And I know he's really tall in real life. And this guy was tall. And he looked like him. He had his glasses. Like, it could well have been him. But
you should have played the rap and see if he sang along. That would have been the test. Yeah, so this guy, basically, I now see every couple of... I now saw out and about, like, last year mainly, not so much this year. And I now say hello to him off the basis of the fact that I probably really annoyed him that night. So if he is listening, I do apologise to him. But I made a friend by saying that he looked like Louis Theroux. But what are you a unioner, a non-unioner?
So I am Muslim and I do not drink.
So you wouldn't do it sober? Because there's some people who do it sober.
I don't think I would. Like, I think just being in that environment, like, I don't know if you've been around drunk people sober, but like, it's a really strange experience. And I think you get to know a different side to people that necessarily doesn't coincide with the person you know from like classes and stuff. And so it can be quite an alienating feeling. So I wouldn't say I'm like a massive fan of doing that, but there's so much else to do in Reading Town Centre as well, which we are going to get into.
I'm going to alienate myself. It is an alienating feeling, I suppose, like you said. But yeah, so how did you overcome that?
Yeah, so there's so many things you can do if you don't drink in Reading. For instance, I'm part of the Reading University Sports Park, so the gym, and they hold so many classes, which is included in your membership. So I go to Pilates quite often, and you can just meet people there and talk to them. Or even like with your course mates, you can arrange things that don't involve drinking, like going to restaurants, or we have a cinema in the town centre, and so many things to do even on campus, to go for walks and just go for lunch together. There's so many things to do that don't involve going on a night out, which I think is also important to mention. You guys got anything you like to do?
Well, in terms of sort of sober socials and things like that, I'm part of Athletic Society. They do a 5K generally around campus. It will always start and finish on campus.
I think I've seen them.
They're really good, to be fair. I started it in second year because a friend recommended it or whatever, and I wasn't really that into running. Like I'd run every now and again or whatever. I'm currently in the process of training for a half marathon now with the same guys. So like I've kind of gone the whole
above and beyond.
Yeah, literally. So a shout out to Reading Athletics for that one. But yeah, so they do a 5K that it starts on campus, goes round 5K around Reading somewhere and comes back, and they change up the route every now and again, which is really nice because you get to speak to people. There's different levels of it. So like if you're an elite level runner, you can run at the front. I'm never ever in that group. There's like a middle group, and then there's a group at the back, which is like the social. You can run for a bit, walk for a bit, whatever.
That
like
would be me.
Literally, yeah, but literally every level, like everyone's always welcome there, and they do really try and make the effort. So what about yourself?
I try to undertake in table tennis. So I started going to Mojos every night.
Is that society?
There is a society, but unfortunately, I'm not good enough to get into the
There we
society.
go. Wow.
But I'm training.
I was going to say, practice makes perfect. You know what
We
you
all
need to do.
start from somewhere.
Yeah. I have improved because I remember when I played for the first time in September, I didn't even know how to hold the racket. And now I can pretty much, I think I'm in the top 30, but I'm still not in the team. But next year you're going to see me in that picture, the uni team. But I try to undertake in table tennis because that's a sport which I have not played before. And I feel like if I can improve my hand-eye coordination, it's going to improve not just that, but everything else. And it's good for the brain as well. Science has suggested that. So, and I think just being sober, I would rather do that.
So we've got a bit of Pilates, bit of running, and a bit of ping pong as well. We've got an Olympic team going here.
Definitely. There's also other racket sports that the university has to offer. So we have massive tennis courts. I don't know if you guys have seen.
In and outdoor.
Yeah, indoor and outdoor, yeah. We've got badminton, and we've got squash courts as well. So often on the weekend, I'll play squash with my husband. So you don't need to be actually a member of the gym if you want to just play a racket sport. You can just go and pay a fee and maybe just play for the hour or 2 hours, however long you want to rent it out for. And yeah, I think it's about £7 or £8 actually.
And that's in Sports Park?
Yeah, that's in the sports park, yeah. And it's so important to keep active because an active body engages your mind, and yeah, it's just good for you overall. So I would really recommend taking up a sport during your time at Reading.
I think it's such a nice thing to do because a lot of the time in first year, I'd go back and I'd like just chill in the flat or whatever. Sometimes it is nice to get out and get a bit of that sort of activity in. There are many other places on campus you can go. Did you know you can hire a room for a society or a group or whatever? So like the classrooms and things like that after hours.
Really?
And societies use it for different things. Like dance societies hire them out, move the tables back or whatever, and things like that. So literally there is endless amount of space for you. Even when lectures finish at 6 o'clock or whatever time they finish, it's not just every building shuts down, go back to your flats type thing. The campus very much stays
alive. That's one thing I like about Reading as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's, or if you wanted to go to the library, I suppose. But it's late at night, enjoy yourself. But yeah, the library is also open, I suppose.
I actually prefer the library. It's a really nice library we got.
At night, though, I feel like I'm outstaying my welcome if I'm there past like 6
What's your
o'clock.
favourite floor on the library? That's
Fifth, without doubt.
If I want to get work done, I go to 5th floor.
Yeah.
If I want to chill, I go to 2nd or 4th floor.
Really? I'm a third floor girly.
I can get behind that. That's fair enough. I've been up there once before, and it never crosses my mind.
Yeah.
Like when I go in, I like the silence of 5th floor because if I'm there to work.
That's
in a
true,
way.
and you can just get locked in. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, fifth floor is really comfortable. I feel like I'm in the airport lounge because
Yeah.
it's just structured in that way.
It is like I'm never going to unsee that that's like an airport lounge upstairs. Yeah, fair enough. Pretty good observation. I'm petrified on fifth floor that my AirPods haven't gone, like, when they don't connect to your phone.
Yeah.
And my music's playing out loud, because then it would completely break the silence in there. And I've never ever seen anybody break the silence.
I've
on
never
fifth floor.
been on there, so I feel like now I
You need to pay a
test it
visit.
out,
Yeah, you need to pay a visit.
The airport lounge.
But I can see why you might. So you're more of a night reviser, because in the day it is quite busy. I won't go there in the day on second floor because that's way too busy.
Yeah, whenever I go to the library during the day, I feel like I'm working for Microsoft. It's busy. It's so busy. There's people everywhere. So I go either in the mornings, which is around 10 a.m., or I go in the night, 10 p.m.
Sunday
I
is
go
another great day.
I go
Sorry.
extremes.
There we go. Yeah, no, fair enough. It makes sense. I suppose everyone's got different reasons. There are also other study spaces, like there's study rooms at, like, around every corner. You've just got to know where they are, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to plug the Met building once again, because
Where is the Met building?
Yeah.
the Met, I can't give away my secret, Jack. But it's near the early gate entrance.
Right.
So
that's sort of like Bridges Way on campus. Is that?
It's the
yeah, I think so. Do you
I-
know where the Reading Observatory is, where we've got the meteorological equipment and everything?
I don't. I need to visit.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be episode 2. We start with
think
our
so.
visit, a tour.
A tour
Yeah.
that is needed. Yeah. So talking about study spaces on campus, we've not only got our own library, but we also have separate study rooms as well. And the agriculture building, which is just alongside, I think it's like right behind the Met building, also has its own like study spaces, and they're generally like quite quiet. So even if you can't find a space in the library, that's always a shout.
There we go. Any more to add on the study spaces? Or should we get back to the socialising stuff?
I think socializing should be fine.
Let's drop into the town centre. What kind of restaurant-wise? We'll go restaurants. That's a nice way to start. So take it back and pretend that I'm a first-year student. Try and sell me what restaurants in Reading have we got? What recommendations? Because I'm not great. I say pretend I'm a first-year student. I'm a third-year student, and I'm not clued up on the restaurants of Reading. So guys, what are your favourites? What are your recommendations?
If you want affordable and tasty food, shout out to Pho. It's a Vietnamese style street food restaurant.
I really like it too, yeah.
So much flavors. I feel like my taste buds never came to the UK, but my taste buds are back here in this restaurant. Very affordable, really filling. I usually try to take their noodles with chicken and some rice. Amazing meal, probably 15 quids, I guess. Very satisfying. It's probably better than any other restaurant, I would say.
Oh, big claim. Where's that? Whereabouts is that in town?
It's close to Fluffy.
Fluffy, that is the best place in town centre.
For desserts. If you want sugar, you go there. That's my go-to. For Fluffy.
That is the most elite combination. Fluffy is the best dessert place in Reading, or even like in the UK, period. Like,
We can add this to the tour. This will be after the meteorology building. We're going to go and to have this food, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Fluffy. The pancakes are like Japanese souffle pancakes, and they've got like tiramisu ones. They've got like lotus biscoff ones. They've even got like milkshakes and stuff as well, I think.
Yeah.
And this section of town centre, this is like an East Asian like subsection.
Yep.
And so they have like a Korean barbecue place, which is halal as well. Like right next to this, they've got bubble tea. And this is like kind of its own building, as it were. So it's about like 5 minutes away from the Oracle Town Centre. Well,
Right,
the Oracle, like the mall, you know.
Mhm.
And yeah, the Oracle has many great places as well. Some of them are a bit pricey, but some of them are quite affordable as well. I really like tortilla. That is like,
I've heard of, but I haven't been. What
Oh.
is tortilla? Is it what it says on it? Is that the
yeah.
premise? Right,
So
okay.
it's like
That was a really
Mexican-
stupid question.
No,
there.
no, of course. It's like Mexican food. Yes, they have beef, they have chicken, and you can add your own like beans and salads and stuff, which is good. And
healthy
then-
stuff.
Yeah,
It's like Subway.
It's so good. Yeah, it's like make your own. Like,
Oh,
kind of-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, And then we've got German doner kebab, GDK, really good. Town centre has a lot to offer actually in terms of food.
What is the poll on German doner kebab? I'm asking as a vegetarian. I don't get it. But what's so special about German doner kebab? That's what it stands for, isn't it?
Yeah. So it is doner meat, which I mean I don't go out for nights out, but if you guys do, I mean I've heard that lots of people like a cheeky kebab afterwards.
Yeah.
It is not as greasy as normal kebabs, which is what I like about it. And it's kind of like, again, a create your own thing. They will ask you like what sauces you want, what salads you want. And the meat doesn't have this like funky smell to it as a lot of doner meat does. I know you're a vegetarian, but...
That's fine. All my housemates eat meat, so that's fine.
Yeah.
They probably will listen to this and now want to go there. So
yeah, it's so good.
well, there we go. I really would love to join in on the restaurant recommendations, but I think I have the most basic... I'm a go-to Toby Carvery, which sounds rogue as a vegetarian, but you get it so much cheaper if you don't pay for the meat.
No,
So,
I understand.
Little life hack there. Go eat as much veg as possible. Good for you. Again, if my mum is listening, eating healthily as well. And you save money on the fact that you're not paying for the meat. So tick, tick, and tick. Have either of you been to Blue Collar? That's a big one. Big Reddit, no? Neither of you been to Blue Collar?
No,
To be fair,
God.
that was in a discussion before we came on to today's episode about Blue Collar. It's like, I think, I'll have to firm this up, a street food type place. We had recommendations that the chicken wings, I mean, I don't know why I was given this recommendation, but apparently the chicken wings there are exceptional. I do need to visit Blue Collar. There's so many places that like I need to visit before I sort of finish at the end of the year. The Biscuit Factory. I'll move swiftly on. The cinema and the Biscuit Factory.
I've heard so much about it, but
Not
I've not been there either.
I know,
Yeah.
it's one of those places that I go, I need to go. But I think it's like what's it, independent cinema?
Is it?
Really?
And like a sort of public space. We were talking about using spaces for non-drinking events. I think this would be the perfect one. So I've seen them do like board games nights and things like that, and events and comedy events and stuff like that. There's definitely a lot to look at and a lot on that probably doesn't get as well advertised in the uni maybe, but you can look for it yourself, I suppose.
Just goes to show there's a lot to do in Reading that does not involve drinking.
Above that
Yes.
though is the mini golf place in Reading. I can vouch for the mini golf place.
Oh, I don't actually like mini golf. Maybe
I didn't
unpopular opinion.
before this place, but it's actually pretty well designed. It's quite a small place,
Yeah.
but it's pretty decent in there. So I would vouch for that. We are flying through these. Paintball.
Paintball, no.
I've not done it in
I'm
Reading.
terrified of paintball.
Not in Reading.
I've done it in Swansea, absolute terrible. But there is a paintball place here, so if that's your jam,
Go
off
for
you
it.
go. Yeah, to be honest, I don't see the appeal. It hurts.
Yeah, I just
It does
think it's
hurt.
like 14-year-old boy.
Do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to
Activity.
run round in the mud getting
hit your
shot?
friends, like
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah, you
Like,
have to take a shower after that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's-
that's yeah.
That's enough for me to say no.
Or that's a very wacky night out outfit to go out just after paintballing, having not washed with all those colours on you.
Exactly.
I think I like the nature in Reading more so than these activities.
We spoke about this in our planning before this episode. The public spaces in Reading and things like that we walk around and things like that.
Yeah.
What are your recommendations?
So I think that maybe it's a bit far from the uni. I would say maybe 30 minutes away by public transport. But there's this park called Prospect Park, and it has a harvester inside the park as well. It's a massive park. It's like green fields, and you can have picnics there. And there's like a fish and chips place as well, quite close by. And yeah, really, really nice park. And every Saturday they have car boot sales as well going on. So if you go in with a £5, you'll come out with about 20 items. I would really, really recommend checking out car boot sales. I'd also recommend joining, and I know this sounds a bit old school, but some Facebook group chats. Just like stuff, Reading group chats. So there's Mortimer group chats, Burfield group chats. Different areas in Reading have their own group chats. Facebook groups, I don't think they're called group chats, but they kind of tell you what's going on in the local area as well. So whether it be car boot sales or just different events that are going on, really, it's good to know what the wider Reading community is up to as well.
I think going back to kind of like the moving in and settling in as well, Facebook groups for that, you don't have to, but like it's
it's important.
It's a great help to join those Facebook groups, because I was already able to speak to my friends in my flat like a month or whenever we got the date before we moved in, and it made move-in day so much less stressful
daunting.
and less daunting, because you weren't starting from zero with these people. You already knew a bit about them, where they were from, you'd already spoken about whatever. It's just a good way of sort of getting the ball rolling, I suppose.
Yeah.
I got my accommodation through Facebook groups. Not gonna
Facebook
lie.
is really good.
That's really common as well, is that people put their contracts on there. So if you're looking to move, if you're happy somewhere, or if you join in halfway through, didn't get your housing in time, I suppose that's. So how did that go?
So I joined the group, the Reading Freshers.
Yeah.
I know I was not a fresher, I was a second year, but then I was in desperate need of an accom. I didn't want to live with my friends. Because I just wanted my own personal space. And there's few people reached out to me saying, we have a contract for you, 40 weeks contract at Vantage Hall. And I was like, I'll take it. And so the swap was pretty easy. It was much easier because the uni didn't give me, because there was no room remaining. But then I got the contract through Facebook. So when I joined Facebook, I thought, no one's really going to be on it, because I did get a lot of suggestions, but then I didn't have any hope. But it was the end of the day.
Well, if it works, and obviously I suppose another precursor, I'll use two precursors today, is to obviously make sure that it's a genuine thing as well. Not to say that yours wasn't, but obviously there's like on Facebook groups and stuff like that.
I have been scammed before.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with things like
There
that. I just wanted to say that before we
there
sort
is
of
a lot
moved on.
of scam.
I have been on the phone to NatWest.
Yeah.
I've told them about my scam. Somebody was actually selling Oasis tickets for this summer, and they were like, oh, well, we can't attend anymore. And I was like, oh, Oasis, I'd love to see them. I paid 100 quid, and when it's like too good to be true, that's when you should always doubt it, and you should say to yourself, well, there's a reason why this is too good to be true, and not to fall for Facebook scams.
But on the positive, there's a lot of Facebook help and things like that, and social media. Social media, I suppose, is a big part of union group chats and things like that. I mean, that first year, I was in so many group chats for societies that I didn't even end up joining, but like it was just nice to be a part of that group chat, so when
What's
things
going
are
on?
and
Yeah.
you get it obviously straight to your phone, and you can. They'll do polls as to whether things are you go in something or not, or you get certain access to things before they go out on social media or whatever, on WhatsApp and things like that. So that's also if you're not signed up to social media, obviously you don't have to be, but if you are, then it's a great help. So Thursday nights in Mojo's. Do you want to take it from here? Explain a bit to everyone what goes down on a Thursday night in Mojo's.
So it's quiz night and karaoke night. Quiz night, if you win quiz, you're going to get £100 cash.
Wow.
£100.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
know.
I did not know
And
that.
that happens every week. So let's say you go 4 times a week, you win £400.
You have to pay to take part, but I don't think they keep the money from. Or maybe they take a portion of it or whatever. But a lot of the prize money is from everyone's entry fee.
Okay, so it's like a lottery.
The entry for
A lottery, but you've got to have the skill to be good at the quiz.
That is
so
true.
technically,
Indeed.
it's skill based.
The entry-
Skill-based lottery.
the entry is £5 per team, and you get £100 in return. The second prize is a pitcher, so you can pick any alcohol of your choice, and you can get a pitcher. I take the Guinness because
A pitcher of Guinness.
a pitcher of Guinness.
And that's included in your £5 fee.
Yes.
If
I
you
come second.
if you come second, you don't just go
Ah.
So after quiz night, karaoke, I'll be drunk if I come second.
I was gonna say, can we just take it back to the pitcher of Guinness? How long does that take? Guinness takes time to settle once you pour the first half, doesn't it?
It does.
Does
You
it
must
get,
be
like,
waiting.
foamy?
You must order it one week and go to the next Thursday, and it still be sat there settling. I've never heard of a pitcher of Guinness. That's blown my mind.
So it's free. So I try to seize the max of it.
Whoever's on the bar that night must be absolutely furious when you order a pitcher of Guinness.
Yeah, because he probably must be thinking I'm a mad guy and he knows I want to get drunk. I try not to come second. I try somehow to come first. I go with my team. My team is pretty good at quiz.
Do you have a set team?
Yes, we do.
Oh, you guys take it seriously
So-
then. Okay.
Shout out to my friends.
Okay.
They're also amazing singers. So we do karaoke.
There's no prizes for the singing, though, is there?
There is no, but we just love to sing. And, if you win, we want to, show our love and celebration to everyone. So I consider myself and everyone like the One Direction because we're 5 guys.
Right.
5 Guys. Another good place to eat in Reading.
Yeah, there we are. That's one I can finally get involved in. I can recommend 5 Guys. You guys have gone really like cultural food or whatever.
Yeah.
Properly made food. No, I'll go with
5 Guys fries.
Yeah.
I love it.
100%.
They have 5 Guys in the Oracle. I think it's on the top floor and it's opposite the H&M.
They must have a never-ending like chips photocopier in 5 Guys because whenever you order one size, they give you like 2 sizes up. It's incredible. They just keep throwing chips in for
They're
fun.
American, aren't they?
That is true.
Copy and paste on the potatoes out the back. Yeah. Sorry, we were talking about karaoke. Your karaoke song. So your One Direction.
Yeah.
Any particular song, or can you do like any of the back? Not right now, but what's your guys' go-to song?
Story of My Life.
There we go. A classic.
I need to stop myself from singing right now.
That's because we come to uni as an 18-year-old. We graduate when we're 21 or 20. So it's like, it's a big thing because you move out from your teens.
I'm getting emotional over here. That's,
oh, wow.
yeah.
I actually shed a tear.
I'm not going to lie.
I'd be shedding a tear after a picture of Guinness as well, to be fair.
Second prizes. I love second prizes because a picture of Guinness. Oh, I love it.
That's incredible. It's taken us 40 minutes to get to the fact that you can have a picture of Guinness for coming second in the quiz. There we go.
So I encourage you all to come to game night and karaoke today. It's today.
It will be today because we're recording on a Thursday, but any other Thursday, or if you're listening at any other time, it's a Thursday night.
Talking about Thursdays, actually, we've got the food markets.
Go on. I'll let you go. I've never got anything from the food market, so talk us through it.
So we've got such good cultural food on campus every Thursday. So we've got like, I don't know, like a Turkish stall. We've got a Bulgarian stall. We've got jollof rice as well.
I saw that today when I came. Is that a new one?
I don't know. I've actually never bought from them because I usually have lectures around that time, which is annoying. But if you're not a master's student and you've got a bit more spare time, head over to Central Campus on a Thursday. Lots of food options. But today, I was talking to you about this earlier, but I went to the food market on, which is just in the...
Central, what is it called?
What is it called? Student Union? It's next to 360.
Oh, in the fruit market in there. In 360.
It's quality stuff.
You'll find it.
Thursdays is the day to be on campus.
It's a good day to be on campus, especially if you haven't gone out in the night, because those that have gone out in the night sort of don't resurface till like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So campus is quiet. You can pick up your food, your fruit, there's a bakery guy there.
Yeah.
We can't talk about all this food stuff on campus without coming to the main man, Mr. Bagel Man. Are we Bagel Man fans? If you say no, you must leave the studio immediately.
Oh dear, I'm not a fan of bagels. I have to say that.
I go just to have a conversation with Bagel Man himself.
Yeah,
I go in there.
He's an amazing guy.
If you can't afford counselling, go to Bagel Man. I go in on a Friday afternoon. I go through my whole week in the 5 minutes he makes my bagel. It's incredible. I'm a pesto supreme man because he does cater to the veggies, so I'm in on that. But yeah, get yourself involved in the bagels because if you don't like them at all.
I think I just don't like melted cheese. I think that's
have one without melted cheese. No, you can't.
Yeah, I tried it once. Like, I just don't like melted cheese on anything.
Well,
really.
there's a challenge for Bagel Man. Can he make one
without melted cheese?
Yeah.
Bagel Man should cater to everyone's taste buds.
And I'm sure he would.
Because
he's a man of many talents.
He is.
Mainly bagels and conversation because he's a nice guy to talk to.
He's a very nice guy to talk to.
He wished me happy birthday on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Which I think if you're going to that effort, give the man an OBE.
What other university would have such
a
good
guide?
Customer
Exactly.
service?
Yeah.
Where do you guys normally go for lunch on a typical weekday on campus, or do you make it from your com?
I'm a home. I keep dropping that paper. I'm a home food person, so I'm.
Nice and healthy.
If I'm going food on campus, I'm a co-op meal deal. I'm very basic on that front.
I'm also a co-op meal deal.
So I have the meal plan again.
Right.
So
are you what's the one behind the union now? Are you in that one?
Eat at the Square.
That's the one.
So Eat at the Square provides lunch, but they don't have dinner.
Right.
So if you have a meal plan, you can access 3 restaurants, which is Park Eat, Eat at the Square, and Dairy.
Oh, where's
Oh.
Derry?
So Dairy is in Kendrick, and they have this special menu for lunch. You can have burritos, tacos, butter chicken, anything. And I think it's really good.
The tacos, I was there the other day, we were at it's like a society thing, but we were there early enough for food. They're like nothing I've ever seen before. It's a mountain of
Really?
If you're a tacos fan, get yourself down
So
to the
where
dairy.
is Derry on campus?
So it's
It's not on campus.
no, it's
It's not
like
on
on your way
campus.
to London Road campus. So
Oh.
in between the two,
Okay.
it's walking distance from campus, and there'll be loads of students there because I think doesn't it go Kendrick Student Village,
Yeah.
then the
So it's-
dairy, then London Road, all inside kind of the same.
Yeah. So Kendrick Hall, Dairy, they're all in London Road campus. They're all like together. It's like the
I'll
White
have
Knight.
to check it out.
It's Park Bar for London Road campus.
Exactly.
Oh,
Basically.
I see. Okay.
Um,
It's about 20 minutes from here.
Talking about Park Bar, even though I don't drink, I really like it because it has
you?
it has like outdoor seating
Oh,
as
that
well.
makes sense. I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. Yeah,
That's true.
I went.
And yeah, I really like that. Like sometimes we would just go there for lunch and just sit outside, especially when the weather's good, like it is today. Yeah, it's a really nice place. And especially in the Met department, every Friday after 5 p.m., everyone just gathers there. And if you don't drink, that's also fine. But it's just a nice place to gather and get to know people.
I bet a good one for sort of Met students, agricultural students, is Mojo's on the Meadow. That's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, where they convert the. I say convert the grass. It makes it sound far more complicated than it is. They like sort of gate off the grass area and put seats outside so that you can sit outside and enjoy the sun.
I did not know about
So
that.
Mojo's basically like doubles in capacity, and then
Oh,
in the night when the
nice.
sun's setting and everything, everyone's outside on the benches with their friends. And
Oh.
yeah, it's really nice. So I can't wait for that to start in the summer because it's my last one and I want to make the most of it. And the dissertation will be out of the way by then, so I get my life back, get the social life back. We have, well, we worked our way down campus, really, up from London Road. Harris Garden is on the tip of our tongues because we've been talking about it non-stop whilst planning this episode. Harris Gardens, are we fans? What's the vibe on Harris Garden?
I have not been.
Okay, that's disgusting. That's
I'm sorry,
unacceptable.
Jack. Yeah.
Been to Harris Garden?
I have been there.
There we go.
Do you remember when it was the Northern Lights?
Yes.
No way.
Oh, that would have been a great place
I
to
went
watch it
to-
from.
I went to Harris Garden to see the Northern Lights. It was beautiful. It was
That
dark,
is
but it was beautiful.
fun.
Because you're away from the street lights and stuff like that, so
Exactly.
you get
no light
yeah.
pollution.
But I also do go to Harris Garden during the day, during the morning.
Nice.
I go there, for a run.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. They even have a small lake,
Do they?
Within Harris Garden?
They do. A very small lake. I wouldn't even say it's a lake. I think it's more like a pond, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just beautiful. And it's like a botanical garden and a whole other thing. Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's one of those places you can get lost in as well, but in a good way. Like there's so many different paths you can go down and so many different aspects of it that you can I could stay in there all day.
I remember I went to Harris Garden the day of the Northern Lights. I got lost. I needed to use Google Maps to get out.
There we go. And if that's not, stepping away and chilling out, then
Don't know what it is.
exactly I don't know what
I
is.
really like White Nights. Sorry, my voice has gone funny. White Nights Lake. It's really, really nice. I like the swans, the birds, the geese. They're very vocal.
They are.
They're very, very vocal. Yeah, sometimes you can hear them during lectures as well, just doing their thing. But it's so nice that we have so much wildlife on campus.
Especially around springtime, because
Yes.
the
Yeah.
goslings, is that what baby geese are called? And the swans.
They
Cygnet.
step
Cygnets.
out.
I don't know how you say that.
I went for a run the other day, was walking back from my run, I thought I'll walk around the lake, it'll be nice. Walked back up to my flat, and this cygnet is sort of like walking towards me, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to let it, I'm going to video it, I'm going to send it to my parents and be like, look how cute this is. It was going so well until the swans started chasing me because I think it thought that I was trying to take the chick.
Predator.
Yeah. So that I swiftly stopped recording. And I think at the end of the recording, maybe a certain expletive was picked up because I thought I was going to get eaten by a family of swans on the lake. So
As you do.
the advice is stay away from the cygnets, but enjoy the lake. The lake there's two lakes, isn't there? Or am I thinking of like the two bridges?
I think it's one lake, but then
One
it's
massive
just
one.
one massive one.
Well, there we are. It seems
Yeah.
it's that big.
And when you're crossing from the Met Department to main campus, there's like many different bridges you can go past as well.
Mhm.
And it's like when you're walking along the path, like, yeah, it's a bit muddy, but just in a way, the unkeptness of those paths as well, like the less trodden on routes, they're very, very beautiful.
I like it in the summer when the uni stops cutting the grass.
Yeah.
And they let it all
Yeah.
grow up, so
Yeah.
that's really nice as well. And also very good for the environment, which one thing Reading Uni is
Yeah.
very
Known for.
passionate about. Yeah. Any other sort of public spaces on the open spaces on the if the weather's getting nicer, you're having a day out on campus. Where are you going to sit? The quad on the way to the studio today, full of people. The slightest bit of sun, everybody is out today. All of a sudden.
That is true. And yeah, I think you're going to see more in May.
I hope. Do you know what? I hope so. I've literally spent all day in the library. Came here. Got to go somewhere tonight, and I haven't had the chance to enjoy the weather yet today. So I'm hoping that the weather sticks around for a little bit longer. Well,
I think today I'm going to break my fast at Salt and Smash, which is a food place. Oh, I don't know why I didn't talk about this earlier. It's actually my favourite burger place near campus. It's so, so good. 100% I'd recommend.
what? So is it like? Is it just burgers? What are we?
They
Is
do
it?
smash burgers. They
What's a
do
smash
like
burger? I've heard about this, but I haven't been.
Is it the one?
Smash
Is it the
beef.
one close to Crusher's Green Bus?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And they do like Philly cheesesteaks. Amazing. 100% I'll check them out.
So I've ended this podcast. I started this podcast a vegetarian. I've ended this. You've almost talked me back into eating meat with some of the restaurant recommendations, but
Job well done.
but not quite. Thank you ever so much for joining us today on the UoR Voice podcast. We have very much enjoyed our hour sitting and talking about one of our favourite places, which of course is Reading Uni. And we will see you for, well, we might not see you for episode 2 actually. There is a whole new team of people who are going to be sharing the podcast and their experiences with you. So we hope you enjoy that just as much as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.